Now, the people of Chile head to the polls this weekend to decide who will create a new constitution. The existing framework dates back decades to the autocratic rule of General Augusto Pinochet. While mass protests helped spur a referendum that set out the makeup of the assembly, half of the new delegates have to be women. The draft constitution will be voted on next year.
A few months ago, Ivanna Miranda never would have imagined she'd be running for office. Now she's on the campaign trail as a candidate for Chile's Constitutional Assembly. Miranda wants to help write the new constitution. The current one dates back to the Pinochet dictatorship. The new constitution should be written by ordinary citizens because we know the real-life circumstances in Chile, and we know that so far the state doesn't guarantee us the rights we should have. In 2019, after weeks of police violence and riots, the efforts of 1.5 million protesters paid off. Chile's citizens will now draft a new constitution. Miranda hopes to use this chance to bring about change. She's demanding that groundwater be distributed fairly in the dry region of Salamanca, where she lives. Until now, farmers have pumped water from 100 meters below the ground to supply their avocado plantations. How can it be possible that there is enough water for hundreds of acres of avocado monocultures, but not for local communities? In many places, people depend on water financed by taxpayers. But time and again, these pipes are closed off because water is in short supply. I have 3 children, so it's hard to get by with the water rationed from the pipes. That's why we rely on the city's water truck. It comes by once a week. Another truck is from a private company that the neighborhood residents pay for out of their own pockets. According to Chile's current constitution, water is private property. Miranda shows us a new pipe made by a private water supplier. It was developed for the avocado farmers, not the residents. The current constitution favors agriculture. This pipeline starts at one of the few remaining above-ground springs and was originally intended to provide water to locals. The fact that water is private property has led to dried-up rivers next to lush green avocado plantations. Exporters hoard their water in huge basins and expand their avocado groves every year. The new constitution must finally right the wrongs of capitalism and distribute water fairly, especially during the current drought and climate crisis. 50% of the seats in the Constitutional Assembly are reserved for women. That's why Miranda has high hopes for her campaign. Social activists like me have to push harder to get heard. It's important that we put pressure on the old political elite now. The outcome of the vote will play a key role in shaping Chile's new constitution.
A lot at stake this weekend for Chile. I'm now joined by my colleague, Benjamin Olivares Gruber. Thank you so much for being here, Benjamin. Good to see you. Is this Chile's moment of reinvention?
It is. Reinvention, not just as a state, but also to find this new framework agreement for the next 40, 50 years. It's a way of channeling the social unrest that started in 2019. It's the second part. Let's remember that there are 3 votes. The first one was the referendum. In October, where almost 80% of Chileans said that they want to scrap the current constitution that dates back to the dictatorship of Augusto Pinochet. And now this weekend, they will elect the 155 members that will have the very difficult task of drafting this new constitution.
Very difficult task. What's exactly at stake?
What's very important to note here is that the difficult challenge starts now. For the outside, for the other countries, it's interesting to see how many women are involved. We just heard about it. Half of them will be women. There will also be extra seats for the indigenous population. There are several topics that should be also in this new constitution when it comes to changing the current model that, for some part of the people have started and have helped Chile to grow over this last 30 years. But on the other side, people are saying that this constitution has also fathered the social injustices in the country. That's why people went out to the street and protested.
Now, obviously, I mean, as you know, Chile is often referred as South America's star. But underneath the surface, there is a lot that needs addressing.
There is a lot there. Even the current president, Sebastián Piñera, once said that Chile is the oasis of the region. He said that before the social unrest, and you can see when you look under the surface, those are a lot of things that cannot be seen when you only look at macroeconomic numbers. For example, the inequality, the poverty, a lot of people that need to go out now. You see it during the pandemic, that they just couldn't stay at home, that needed to go out and see how they can get money to the family. And even the former health minister said that he wasn't aware of the level of poverty that a lot of people in the country were living in. So I think this changed also the look of Chile in other countries. And I'd say that Chile has had a pretty good marketing to sell itself as a developing country.
And in conclusion, Benjamin, the pandemic, of course, hanging like a dark cloud over Chile because it was initially doing well. How is the country faring right now?
That's right. Chile was hit pretty hard by the pandemic, and Chile is seen as an example outside. So on one side, it's been praised internationally for its amazing and pretty incredible vaccine rollout, but on the other side also as a warning sign for other countries to what happens when you lift restrictions too quick. So don't wait for the effect of the vaccine. This vote had to be moved, this election had to be moved to the pandemic. But for now, of course, people hope that the situation will get better and cases will go down.
All right, thank you so very much, Benjamin Olivares Miranda from our very own DW News. Thank you, appreciate you.
Thank you.